everybody. Welcome to the New Level Podcast. I'm your host, Fernando Tovar, where every episode is about leveling up in business, health, mindset. Today we got an amazing guest who's making a big impact in their field. I want you to help me welcome Antonio Gaona. Thanks for having me on the show, bro. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So, let's get started. For everyone who's meeting you for the first time, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do and how you got into peptides.
Okay, perfect, man. Yeah, so I've been a real estate investor flipping ranches for like the last 8 years. And I've always been like a health and fitness guru nut, like CrossFit, bodybuilding, all that stuff since I was like 12 years old. So it's kind of something that's always been burning in the background. That's like where my passion is, right? Like I do real estate because it's my job. It's my 9 to 5.
Nice.
But just going to the gym, working out, all that. This is like part of who I am. And it's like what I'm gonna do maybe for my own mental health or whatever, right? Something that I have to do. So that's really who I am, I guess, at my core, right? It's like more of a fitness type person. I just love it. I've been obsessed with it, and my whole life. And the reason I started looking into peptides is just for like healing purposes, right? So I've been like in CrossFit, bodybuilding. You always if you're going hard, if you're doing it like multiple days a week, sometimes multiple times a day, you're gonna come across injuries no matter what. You're
No matter
ankle, back, shoulder, something. So I was always trying to find different ways to heal, right? Different types of vitamins, supplements, like medications, anything, right? That would help you heal faster. And so I came across something called peptides. Maybe going on 5 years ago, and I started using them for myself. I didn't think much of it, you know what I mean? Like, hey, it's helping me. I feel great. If I get an injury, I could heal it in 1 day, 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
it's crazy because I see a lot about this peptides all over social media. I mean, I see it TikTok, YouTube. I see it Instagram, and it's blowing up. I don't even know what it is. I've heard of it. I know it's some kind of supplement.
Yeah.
So, are these like, do they come in different, are they vials, injectables? I mean, what, you that knows about peptides, going on 5 years, what, basically, is it come in different type of injections or what?
Yeah, so the main route of administration is going to be injections.
Injections.
There's some that are oral, right? But they're very few and far between. There's only a couple of them that work to survive the stomach acid, right? It's very powerful. So it'll just cleave them up until there's really nothing left.
So most of them are going to be injections.
Injectable is going to be like the way for it to get into your system fast. And there's a couple of things that are beneficial for that reason. If you take it orally, right, it has to survive the stomach acid. Then it has to survive the liver, right? And some of these things will put stress on the liver. So if you just put it right into the system, right into your bloodstream, then you bypass that liver and the stomach acid. So you get the medicine right into where it needs to go.
Nice. Well, we got a couple of questions on here from the chat, so I'm going to ask you a couple of them. We got one here from Vanessa. So for someone who's never heard of peptides, what are they and how do they work in the body?
So peptides, they're a short chain of amino acids, right? And I'm just real quick, without getting too nerdy. Amino acids are what your body breaks protein down into, right? So you eat a piece of chicken or something or steak, your body can't absorb it, right? So it has to break it down into amino acids, and then your body can use those directly into the cell. So peptides are just like a couple of amino acids strung together. So they're very, very small, like short chains of amino acids, and that's what they are, exactly what they are.
What they are. All right, I'll ask you another question here from chat. We got a gentleman by Robert. What are the common reasons people come to you asking about peptides therapy?
Man, mostly, I'll tell you right now, a big one is weight loss, right? First things first, you might have heard of like semaglutide, tirzepatide. It's a lot of what like the celebrities are using, the Kardashians, the Osbournes. Like you see these people like, I think Jonah Hill, the comedian, right? He was like the guy from Superbad. He's all fat, funny, dude. And next thing you know, he's all slim in the face. You can't even recognize him. Looks like he's dying. That's what it is. They're peptides. That's what they're doing. So it kills your hunger.
Are these things expensive?
No, man. Actually, that's the surprising part. I think that's why Big Pharma hates them, is because they're so cheap, right? You could buy like a month worth.
I hear that, chat? Even cheaper than steroids. Son of a bitch.
It's cheaper than a gym membership in some cases, right?
Wow.
So you can get like a month or two worth of weight loss shots for like $40, $60.
Nice. Now, where do you get these peptides? Where do they come from? Like, how do you order some? Where do you just go online on TikTok, YouTube?
So
because I've seen a lot of people on their live, like taking questions.
Peddling them online.
Yeah, like
So a lot of it came from like your doctor at first, right? So you go to the doctor, you're like morbidly obese, you're ready to
And
die, fatty liver, blood pressure through the roof, right? Like most Americans, right? We're overfed.
wow.
And you got to get a prescription grade for the most part. But always in the background, right? Even since like the early days of the bodybuilders, right? Steroids coming from China, there's always an underground, like a gray market, right? You got a black market, gray market, whatever it is. But there's a lot of peptides that are not approved by the federal government.
Wow.
And
So you got to be careful.
A lot of it comes from China. You know what I mean?
How do you know if a peptide is good or fake? Is there a way to even tell?
So you can send them off for testing. There's a couple of labs, and then a lot of reputable.
But that's a lot. I mean,
right?
but for someone like me, let's just say I go on TikTok and order some peptides. How would I? Of course, I'm not going to send it off to go get tested. How would I know? I'm just taking a chance then.
So you're gambling.
Oh
yeah.
man.
Yeah. So.
Y'all hear that?
Yeah. I think the way to do it honestly is like somebody that you know that's in the business, like myself.
Okay.
Right, if somebody sees this and they're like, "Hey, I want to see if that guy can offer some peptides or something," right?
Nice.
I'm taking them for myself, right? Me and my family are using them. It's called a certificate of authenticity, right, or certificate of analysis. So when you do order a bulk, right? Let's say you order like 100 vials or 1,000 vials, you'd send off a sample from each like kit, and you'd send it to get tested.
Nice.
So that way I'll know randomly. I pulled vials out, I sent it in. It's amazing.
Those
it's clean. It's what's in there says it's in there, and it's not underdosed. Sometimes it's overdosed. But at least you know that. So if you're gonna buy them, usually you're buying from somebody that you know personally, right? You're not buying them from somebody off the internet who just made a post and then you don't even know who they are. You don't know if they're even using them or not, or where they got them from. But yeah, if you buy them off online from somebody, you are gambling, right? It should be somebody that does regular testing, that's probably using them for themselves and their friends and family. Yeah.
Nice. All right, let's take another question from Nick. Are peptides meant to replace healthy habits like nutrition, exercise, sleep, or are they just one part of the picture?
Man, so that's a great question actually, Nick. Dude, so that's the problem is like, let's say you're obese or you're overweight and you just want to lose weight, you don't have to exercise or anything.
Wow.
You don't have to change your eating habits, nothing. So that's why it's like a double-edged sword, right? Because that's not a great way to do it, because then you'll lose the weight while you're on the medicine. But then when you stop, you're gonna rebound like anything else, right? You can't just keep on eating Cheetos and hot dogs and think you're gonna stay thin forever. Like it will force your body to lose the weight.
Wow.
So during that time period, that's when you want to change those habits, start having healthier habits, exercise more, drink more water, go to bed earlier.
Exactly.
All the normal stuff that we should be doing anyway, right? So it's like I think what it is, it's like a shortcut. So if you did, like I said, if you started exercising, change your diet, go to bed earlier, do all the things that you should be doing anyway, it's gonna take you like 3 months, 6 months, a year to see progress. But with these, it might cut that down to like 30 days or 60 days, and you're seeing massive progress. So if you're smart, right, and you're doing what you should be doing, then you're using these things, but you're also making those other changes. So that way, if you do ever come off the medicine, right, some stuff I'm gonna run for the rest of my life. I don't care, because it's that good for you, right? It makes me feel that good. But if you are ever going to come off the medicine and you've already made those personal changes, then that's when you're going to have the lasting. You're going to be able to keep what you gained while you're on the peptides.
So let me ask you this. What safety conditions should people understand before trying peptides? Are they risk or side effects?
Side effects are few and far between, but like anything else, like a cheeseburger might have a side effect, right? You get heartburn, indigestion, you know what I mean?
So you don't know until you try it.
That's and the most part, like I said, the side effects, they are very rare. I've only met a handful of people who have ever had any kind of side effects at all. So what I recommend is you start with a very low dose, right? There's something that's in medicine and anything, it's called like the lowest effective dose, right? So you want to find out the smallest amount to get you the result that you're seeking. This is not one of those cases where you want to like maximize the dose and speed it up, the steroid abuse, stuff like that, where you try to go faster, gain more muscle, where it would be smarter to use a very small amount of steroids over years, 10 years or 20 years, as opposed to like blasting and trying to get swole in 30 days, right? It's just not good for your body at all. So same thing.
I got one question as well. Do you think now that the peptides are being more popular and being used by more people, it's going to take advantage of the steroid use on most athletes now? Is it more safer, or is it pretty much up there the same kind of warning signs as steroids?
Well, no. I would say safety and efficacy is always going to be dose dependent and quality dependent, right?
So there's still risk
if
in taking peptides,
as long as if you're getting good stuff, right? Good high quality stuff that's clean, that's like free of like toxins and like like I said, if it's been tested, lead, metals, whatever else might be in there, then that's something that you want to always be cognizant of, right? You want to make sure that first of all, what you're sourcing is what's in the bottle. It's clean. It's like pharma grade, like lab tested. Like I said, maybe a certificate of analysis, those kinds of things, right? So if you know anything about steroids, right? There's some steroids that are considered like hey, the guy has roid rage, right? You might have heard that term before.
I've heard.
Those are going to be some of your higher, like powerful, more potent steroids, like let's say like trenbolone, right? Tren. There's like even like it's a meme now, right? A kid like his age would take Tren and dude's jack like in 90 days, right? But next thing you know, like some of the side effects for Tren is murder, right? A heart attack, right? So that stuff will kill you because the people are taking these doses.
I've seen these kids on there, 21 years old, 22 years old, looking like they're 30, all bulked and
it ages you super fast because you're having that quick cell turnover, right? But the reason is because they're taking like lethal doses, right? It's like an unhealthy dose. Yeah. So similarly with peptides, like are they safer than steroids? Absolutely, 100%, right? But it's always dose dependent and quality dependent. So if you take what's recommended, like you're like in the micrograms, right? Like you can't even measure it with a regular scale, right? You're measuring this stuff with like, so if you start off taking like just a minimum dose, let's say you're going to take BPC 157, it's one of the most common peptides ever.
What is that called again?
BPC 157, body protective compound 157. It's made in the gastric juices in your stomach, right?
Wow.
Crazy healing. I'm talking massive healing. You spit out your knee running, you're doing a marathon, think you're 20 years old again, and you put this stuff into your knee and it's healed like in a day or two, right? Which in an injury that could have taken months to heal. With therapy, with seeing the doctor, everything, right? Even my wife was limping around. She had this knee pain that was just bothering her from the gym for like a month. I said, why don't you just try this stuff? Try it. Wow. 2 days, bro. 2 days the knee was healed. And she's been struggling with it for months.
Oh, man.
Right? So,
hear that, chat?
Yeah.
Peptides.
Yeah.
All right, let's take another question from the chat. Let's see what we got here. So, how does someone know if it's a good candidate for peptides?
How does somebody know if they're a good candidate for peptide therapy? If you're breathing, if you're alive,
that's a good one. So there's no right or wrong.
No, yeah. If you're alive, because these are naturally occurring compounds. They're already in the body. They're already in your body, right? They're circulating. But as we get older, a lot of them your body starts to make less and less and less of them, and then you have cellular and tissue degeneration. You get old, you're dead. Right, so a lot of this stuff can actually like slow down or even reverse the aging process. So yeah, whatever your target is, whatever you're aiming for, if you're alive, you should be on some sort of peptide.
Cool. We got another gentleman here, Frank. How do you respond to people who are skeptical about peptides? What does the current scientific evidence actually say?
Man, so that's the thing. There's not a lot of science behind a lot of these things. There is some that have already gone through like the trials that have been studied, right? Phase 3 trials. Like I said, there's some that are actually prescription grade. They've already been through all that. But there's a lot of them that are very useful that have not even been through scientific trials yet, right? So if somebody's skeptical, I would say, there's nothing you can really say to those people to convince them. But if you look at the ones that have already been approved, right, and what they're doing and the success that they've already had, it's magic, bro. It's magic. Like we're living in a time right now where healing has never happened this fast before at this scale.
No wonder it's blowing up all over.
Man, that's what I'm telling you. So if somebody's skeptical, I would say talk to other people, talk to people online, maybe friends and family members. You'd be surprised a lot of people who are using this. Like find somebody in your circle that's lost a bunch of weight recently, and they're probably on them. So if you're skeptical, talk to people in your circle that are having success with them already, and you'll become a believer immediately.
Okay. Let's take another question here. We got one more question here. So is another gentleman, Amy, looking ahead 5 years to 10 years, where do you think peptide therapy is headed, and what development are you most excited about?
Man, okay,
that's a good one there.
Question.
Thank you, Amy. That was a good one.
That's a good question.
That's real good. You got a applause to that. Hold on. There you go.
what I'm most excited about, I think where this is headed, right, is right now, this is like the trial and error stage, right? Like we are the guinea pigs that are using these things right now, right?
Yeah.
Actually, when you get them from China, there's a sticker on there that says research
Now,
purposes
do they all
only.
come from China?
Oh, 100% of it. But also
Wow.
the same thing, right? Like if you go to your doctor and you get testosterone, all the raws come from China.
Wow,
it's
they're
all,
way ahead
it's,
of
it's
us.
all
Yeah.
made there, yeah.
Man.
And they put it here.
Y'all hear that?
They bring it here, they test it, and they wrap it in a USA made label, and now it's for sale in the
Now it's
USA.
for sale.
But everything comes from China, bro. All of it.
Wow, nice.
So when you get it in the mail from China, when you do a bulk order, it says for research purposes only, not for human consumption. It says it right on the label.
Nice.
Right? So what I'm excited about is where we're headed with this, like I said, because we're the guinea pigs. We're the ones testing it to make sure that it works, to do what it says it does, you know, and we're like on the first like frontier of this all.
First frontier.
So I think what's exciting for me is like now with like advances in technology, like AI and all that kind of stuff, if you have a certain problem in your body for something that you want to heal or something you want to accelerate, you're going to test it, you're going to try it, you're going to see if it works or not, right?
Correct.
But where we're headed with AI is we're going to start pulling blood work, right? And I'm actually working on developing an app for this. You upload your blood work into it, and then we're going to be able to design a peptide that's specifically that what your body needs.
Whoa.
So now you're not guessing anymore. You're like saying, hey, I think I need this, and I think I need this based on how I feel or based on these symptoms that I'm having. We're going to end up tailoring it down to where we can give you like one vial that has a certain amount of this, and this. This is exactly what you need this month.
So you'll
And
be
then
able to test your blood and it'll bring
All
you
your
down to
health
the
markers,
specific
inflammation, everything.
peptide that you need for your
Now
body.
you're not
Wow.
guessing anymore. You're gonna
I hear
say,
that.
I want to fix these 5 or 10 things, and then we're gonna give you exactly what you need.
Nice. All right, we got one more question I want to ask you. If you can clear up one misconception about aging, health, what would it be for the people out there?
Oh man, I love this question. Aging is not linear the way that we think about it, right? So we think that when you're born, your machine, you know, breaks down over time, and then when it comes to your time, then you just die, right? I think that's an error in our thinking, because you don't have to do that anymore.
Wow.
Right? With the technology that we have, with the tools that we have, you can disrupt that aging process, right? So
Y'all hear that?
yeah. Right now we're at the point to where you can either like almost completely stop the aging process, and now they started trials in Harvard where you can actually reverse the aging process.
Man, I wish I would have known that 10 years ago.
I got a body scan
In my
recently
40s, I would have looked 20 by now.
I'm 45.
I would have knew
right?
about that.
And I could smoke any 21-year-old at a lot of fitness stuff, right? Strength, endurance, anything. I got a body scan recently when I did all my recent blood work, just like maybe a month ago. And based on like my body fat percentage, bone density, muscle mass, everything, it said I was 34 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that. I had my 20-year-old son. He's in his 20s, 25, 26. Every time we meet up, we have a barbecue. It's for you, Devin, if you're watching. He said, you know what, Dad? You ain't got nothing. I said, oh, son, come on, son, don't start. So he starts doing push-ups.
Yeah.
He does about 40. This was the first time about 2 years ago. Does 40. Oh. What, Dad, what? I said, and I'm barbecuing, had down 2 beers, maybe 1 shot. I said, all right. I said, man, this kid, here I am. Boom. 55 push-ups. That was the first time he challenged me.
Yeah.
Y'all don't believe me, chat? Check this out. Second time, 6 months later, he comes back. All right, Dad. That first time you were cheating, you didn't go all the way down. I said, what the?
Got me on a technicality.
How come you didn't tell me that?
No rep.
You never said that I didn't go all the way down. Now
Yeah.
you're making an excuse. I said, all right. So this time we're at at my other business, the RV dealership. We're outside. We're queuing it up again. And he calls me out again. Like, all right. You weren't going all the way down that last time. I said, nah, you're just making it up. I said, oh man, don't do this, son. You're going to embarrass yourself again. So he goes down again. This time he does 45. I did 65 this time.
You had to smoke them, pass them up by a mile.
I said, son, he goes, just give me another 2 years. I said, son, you need about 15.
Yeah.
I said, I'm in my 40s. When I get to my 50s, I still feel like I'm
still the one, son.
Yeah, I'm still good.
Yeah.
I feel comfortable at my age still.
Yeah.
I still, I hit the gym every now and then. For those of y'all that don't know, like, I've been in touch with this guy for years. So yeah, every time we contact with each other, where am I at? The gym.
Yeah.
So, and him too. He's more into, what are you more into, the gym, and the other one, the gymnastics, or what's the other
It's
one?
CrossFit.
CrossFit. There you go.
I love bodybuilding. Right? That's who I
Nice.
am as a person. Like I've been around it since I was 12 years old.
Nice.
That's kind of my passion. I've gotten super huge and I've gotten super fat, super skinny. Like I've done everything. But I like CrossFit, man, because it's a mix of like Olympic lifting,
Nice.
mobility, agility, endurance. You know, like you're doing ring muscle ups, push ups. You're doing power lifting. You know, running, like it's everything, box jumps, like anything. So,
Anything.
And then let's say like you're doing this right regularly, then we go to the lake and say, hey, we're gonna go jump off that cliff up there. Like you gotta swim way out to that cliff, like you gotta, way the hell out there. You're swimming for 15 minutes to get there. Now you're gonna go up the side of that cliff, jump all the way down 60 feet, and then swim back to the boat.
Wow.
But you can do it like nothing because you have the endurance already. Like I didn't train for that. It's just in you because you do it every day. So that's what I love about CrossFit. It makes me feel like, day to day. When I was younger, I was a boxer. Right, and you're in that ring, and like your lungs and your heart feel like they're gonna explode. Like I'm gonna die here, and you still got like 4 more rounds, right? So I'm thinking, man, if I had been doing CrossFit back then, I would have just been able to just keep throwing punches like the whole entire 3 minutes every single round and never stop.
So is there a certain gym you go to right now before we close this
There's
episode 1 out?
yeah, there's a
What gym are you going to now?
It's a CrossFit one it's in Stone Oak. It's off of Redland Road, and just because you asked me now, I can't think of the name of it. I've been going there for a couple of years on and off, and then I also go to the YMCA multiple times a week. So that's
So
kind
this
of
is a
where
new
I'm
gym
at.
I started going to.
Yeah.
They're actually just building one in Las Vegas right now. It's called Warehouse. No AC in that bitch.
That's hard to imagine nowadays.
Oh,
Yeah, no AC.
I
at
get
all.
out of there.
Oh, you
So-
got your workout.
Yeah.
I love that concept
Oh,
though,
man.
dude. That's why I was asking you what time you're going tomorrow.
I'm
I'm
gonna
like,
give
I
you
want
the
to go with
information. For those of y'all that don't know, chat, this is a challenge. That gym, y'all think y'all go to a real gym with AC? That ain't a gym. Y'all ought to try Warehouse. That's a gym.
you. I should meet you there tomorrow, man.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Go. It's nice. It's expensive. It's $100 a month, but it's well worth it. It's a challenge. But I'll invite you one of these days, maybe tomorrow. We'll
Sounds
see what's
awesome,
up.
dude.
I gotta have
looking
you
forward to
back, maybe in one of the other episodes on the land developing, because I know you do land as well, but I know you're doing peptides. You've been doing it for a couple of years. I appreciate it for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having
Thank
me
you,
out,
bro.
dude. This was
So-
fun. Let's do it again.
Yeah, we will. All right. Thank you for tuning in to the New Level podcast. If today's conversation brought you value, share it with someone who needs it. Keep growing, keep learning, and most importantly, keep reaching for your next level. I'm Fernando, your host. We'll see you on the next episode.